And that is exactly why the next time a store clerk tells me that I've purchased a piece of data, I'm gonna need them to look me in the eyes through my webcam so that we can both acknowledge the absolute lie that we are being forced to participate in. Like, we have to have that silent lock eyes acknowledgement moment, okay? Because let's be real here for a second. The person on the other end know that they didn't sell you a game. They basically rented you a game for a long time. And at this point, you also know the same. So, that agreement can end. Your game goes kaput. And suddenly you don't have anything. Welcome to Sprite Quest After Dark, the only corner of the internet where we willingly sacrifice sleep to talk about the things keeping us up at 3 a.m. We need to have a serious, unfiltered meeting of the minds about the absolute audacity currently running rampant in the gaming industry. I mean, people love to call physical collectors hoarders. Personally, I just like to call us investors. I do believe that, okay? Mostly as a joke, but honestly, I just don't care about the labels. What I do care about is the basic concept of math, value, and fairness, which seems to have vanished from corporate boardrooms completely lately. Now, please let me know, how are we collectively sitting here acting like it makes a single shred of sense to pay $80 for a digital download, matching the exact price of a physical copy? It doesn't make sense. It will never make sense. When you buy digital, what are you getting? A line of code tied to an account that exists entirely at the whim of a platform holder. It's a long-term rental agreement that they can cancel on you whenever a server becomes too expensive to maintain. Okay, that's our baseline. And look at the absolute clown show that just went down in the European Union. Millions of gamers, millions of us literally banded together after corporate leadership pulled the plug on the crew and actively scrubbed from people's digital libraries. We as gamers went to the lawmakers for actual consumer protection. We went through all the proper channels, collected signatures, built massive cases, and basically, the thing that people asked was a baseline level of human decency when it comes to digital content. Now let's say that louder for the people in the back. We did what we were supposed to do. And what did the European Commission just did? After just one misleading sneaky meeting with Ubisoft, suddenly everything changes. Suddenly the narrative flips and we are just basically throwing a toddler tantrum. We don't have rights, we are just, we want to get on with our ways, right? No. We are asking for what is right. It's like they want us to believe we just didn't read the fine print when they were trying to force us to sign. When it was for their external platforms, just to play a game we already bought. And for this one, I'm specifically looking at you, South Park, The Fractured Butthole, and Dead Space, and Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and The Crew Motorfest, and every single EA Sports title on the face of the planet. Why do I need to link a secondary bloated corporate account to launch a game on a console I already paid for, when those companies are very known to have cybersecurity issues? So why do you need my information? Why do I need the EA app or a Ubisoft Connect account to ping a server just so I can play a single player campaign? I mean, I'm not complaining. If I wanted to play an online mode, by all means, right? They need to know who you are. They need to validate who you are. But when I want to play a solo campaign, what? What do you mean that I need to go in and actively have more junk mail in my email account? Why? Like, they act like we signed away our souls in an unreadable terms of service agreement. And the European Union officially announced they won't pass any mandatory laws to protect gamers' digital purchases because of intellectual property rights. At this point, do you guys see why I cannot sleep? Like, honestly, it's not the thing itself, it's the unfairness of the situation. Like, their grand solution. They are going to ask the gaming industry nicely to follow a voluntary code of conduct for ending a game's life. A voluntary code. To the people that want me to sign into 2-3 platforms, to the people that created loot boxes, to the people that want me to have a digital code in a box, a digital code in a plastic case. Like, it's frustrating. That's what it is. So yeah, because history shows massive publishers are historically fantastic at policing themselves, right? Especially when money is on the line. Oh, come on, we're being too harsh, people. What does a voluntary code even mean to a multi-billion-dollar entity? It means absolutely nothing. That's what it means. It's a whole pass to keep doing exactly what they've been doing. Except now they can pat themselves on the back while they do that. Ain't that fun? I mean, they completely stripped away the hope of actual consumer fallback, leaving digital buyers completely exposed to the whims of server shutdown. It's that exact lack of accountability that allows massive corporate entities, whether it's EA or other companies, to constantly try to be sneaky, testing the waters to see just how much they can get away with. They slice up games into seasonal roadmaps. They lock basic content behind premium paywalls and treat us like open wallets, rather than a community. That is what we're trying to build here. They want the guaranteed revenue of a subscription model. However, they also want to charge us the premium entry fee of a full physical release. But you know what? There's a beautiful bit of cosmic justice built into the universe, because we see these giant publishers spend hundreds of millions of dollars trying to force these heavily monetized live service models down our throats. And what happens? Despite often having beautiful art or great core mechanics built by the devs, the final products completely flop. We as a community look at the greed collectively and we say no thank you. And the games just sink like a stone, and then you can find them for $15, $10. You go to Black Friday, you're gonna find bins of them. And if not, you're gonna find them on digital, very heavily discounted. So that is what we call karma, kiddos. You get what you give in this world. If you treat your players and your consumers like walking ATMs, don't be shocked when they walk away from the machine. And this is exactly why when I buy a physical game, you can come and try to get it, but it doesn't have to be over my dead body, okay? That plastic disc or tiny cartridge belongs to me. It sits on my shelf. I can give it to a friend. I can resell it. It is mine. Publishers are completely bypassing manufacturing costs and skipping shipping fees. They have the nerve to pass absolutely zero of those savings down to us, while retaining the right to delete our digital property whenever they feel like it. They just pocket that extra margin, give us a voluntary shrug, and look at us like we are the unreasonable ones for noticing. I mean, that's why I always try to be kind. But man, this is kind of unhinged on part of the corporations in the industry. It gets to be really costly. And I get it. The production of the games is getting more and more expensive. That's fine. But don't tell me that a game that looks like it was made on the RPG Maker, it's $80 physical, and it's $80 digital. Both same day one edition, no DLCs, no extra content, no nothing. Maybe physical edition is gonna come with, I don't know, maybe a poster, maybe a map, maybe a soundtrack, maybe an art book. It definitely will come with a case. And also, don't tell me that you're gonna give me just an empty case with a code. Again, that's just condescending bullshit. I'm sorry about that. I deeply apologize. And speaking of the absolute unadulterated audacity of this industry, Rockstar officially blew up the entire internet. They finally opened up pre-orders for Grand Theft Auto 6, locking in a launch date of November 19, 2026. Now, the standard edition is a whopping $80, and the Ultimate Edition will run you a crisp 100 buckaroos. Oh yeah. Now, look, we all knew that this was going to be expensive. It has been the most anticipated piece of entertainment on the planet. I am really waiting for it since a long ass time ago, okay? But then they dropped a massive corporate shaped catch that really got everybody panicking. So Rockstar confirmed that at launch, the physical version of GTA 6 will not contain an actual game disc. I mean, let that sink in for a second. If you buy the physical box at retail, you are paying $80 for an empty piece of plastic with a printed digital download code. Just stuck right inside, sandwiched in there. It is a glorified paperweight for your shelf. A literal code in a box that is, yeah. And the justification out there in the media is that it prevents early leaks from warehouses and helps everyone preload on November 12th. Do we believe that? I say I call BS. Because let's call it exactly what it is. It is a calculated strategic execution of the second-hand game market. If there is no physical disc, you can never trade it in. You can never hand it to your friend to borrow. You can never rent it. Rockstar controls the pricing ecosystem forever, ensuring they get a cut of every single copy in perpetuity. Again, this is why we cannot sleep. The unfairness of the situation is just too much. It really grinds my gears, as Homer Simpson would have said. But you know what? There was something that was kind of like the most beautiful, glorious part of today's chaos. And that was, the community isn't the only one pushing back. Oh no. We are joined by independent physical game retailers, which is a massive plus, including heroes like Video Games Plus. I mean, honestly, BGP has my respect and has had my business for a while. But yeah, no, they have officially announced that they are completely refusing to stock or sell GTA 6. Yes! They put out public statements saying their entire corporate mission for 40 years has been preserving physical media and consumer ownership rights. So their official policy is that they will not carry console products that contain only a digital download code. This is a massive legendary line in the sand. I mean, stores are literally leaving massive revenue on the table to protect the concept of actual ownership. At least the stores that still have a soul, okay? I understand that there's a lot of stores that don't have a soul, like retailers and like GameStop. They just simply don't care, and that's fine. It works for their business models, but at this point, from the pure stand-alone point of math, it makes zero sense for me that a product that comes with an extra physical thing that you can have and a product that comes only on a digital way, and at the end of the day they are the same game, cost exactly the same if for one of them I had to have a production line in order to get it. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Remember midnight releases? I remember pulling up to a physical store. Member? I feel like a member berry. But it's just like, it's for reals. Just remember pulling up to a physical store, standing in a line of absolute game connoisseurs as you. People used to call us nerds, but we called ourselves game connoisseurs. In the freezing cold. Oh my god, just to be handed a box that actually had some weight to it. Oof. You'd get home, you strip off the plastic wrap, and you weren't just getting a game. No, you were getting an experience. You'd open it up and find a manual so thick it could double as a home defense weapon. It had full color character bios, concept art, hidden lore hints, and smelling that fresh ink was practically a religious experience. But at this point, I just cannot pretend that I don't like the new game smell. Again, new game smell, new disc smell, new vinyl smell, new CD smell. All those are they are something else. But you get physical fabric maps of the overworld, sheets of high quality stickers, maybe a metal keychain or a mini comic book explaining what happened between the prequel and the sequel. It felt like a genuine event, okay? They were courting us. They were trying to make us fall in love with gaming and with collecting. They wanted us to look at that box on our shelves and feel a sense of pride that we backed their project, okay? And now it's just literally just a tragic waste of cardboard and plastic. We are out here walking into stores, picking up a brand new premium price physical release, only to open it up and find absolutely nothing inside. Just a tragic little plastic clip holding a single, lonely slip of paper with a 25-character download code printed on it. Keycards? Empty boxes? Are we actually for real right now? You're making me drive to a store or making a delivery driver drop off a physical piece of plastic to my house just so I can open it like a puzzle box and find a receipt inside. I mean, we all collectively rejected this nonsense years ago. The community screamed from the rooftops the first time a major publisher tried to ship an empty collector's box without the actual game disc inside. But the industry just put its finger in its ears. You know, they turned up the volume on their quarterly earnings reports and completely refused to back down. They tried to cover the sun with a single finger, thinking we were just obsessed with the mere aesthetic of having a plastic spine sitting on a shelf. No! It was never about that. Again, just make it fair, guys. Just make it fair. I mean, that was low. It's deeply patronizing. We as gamers aren't stupid, but the current industry model treats us like we have the memory capacity of a goldfish and the financial awareness of a toddler. Like, come on. They hide behind the environmental preservation as a convenient corporate shield to gut the value of a physical product while charging me the exact same premium price. It's just hypocrisy, okay? If you are truly saving the planet by skipping the factory printing press, bypassing the disc stamping machines, eliminating the shipping trucks, and cutting out the physical retail storefront split, you know what? Then give me my $20 back. Pass the eco-friendly savings down to the person funding your studio. Don't look me in the eye and charge me $80 for the glorious privilege of needing a massive top-tier internet connection just to stare at a digital icon on a dashboard that you can delete whenever your licensing contract expires. It's a bad deal, it's lazy, and we need to stop pretending. On the absolute peak of this digital ownership mountain for a second, because it gets so much more sinister than just a single game getting delisted. I mean, what happens when you lose your entire account? You know, think about it. You can wake up tomorrow morning and due to a random security glitch, a rogue hacker, a false automated ban flag, or a platform deciding your 10-year-old account name, I love farting on cakes, suddenly breaks their newly updated terms of service. And poof! Your account is locked. And what about your games, huh? The hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars you spent over a decade building that digital library? What? You snooze, you lost? That's it? That is so incredibly, profoundly unfair. Come on! Look, I get it. There are countless ways of being the Lulu in the real world, okay? And trust me, I am Kira, the absolute master of the Lululand. I am the Royal Highness of the Lululanders, the sovereign ruler of my cozy little kingdom of hyperfixation and late-night gaming sessions. I live and breathe in the realm of the imagination. Maybe they're ridiculous sometimes, but even I, in all my sovereign delusional majesty, understand the cold, hard reality that my digital media is only mine until someone in a corporate tech office decides otherwise. So I'm gonna ask you guys this. If the queen of the Lululand can see through the matrix, what is the industry's excuse? This is not a mistake in a space, homies. This is a calculated decision, okay? Because here's the ultimate final test. This is kind of like a glimpse into Kira's world. I always evaluate my life by this test, okay? My life, my purchases, and my long-term stability in very specific terms. The zombie apocalypse standard. That's how I call it, the zombie apocalypse standard. If society collapses and we are suddenly living out a season of The Walking Dead or C Nation, your entire digital library is completely worthless within 24 hours. Think about the requirements for a purely digital gaming setup. To even function without touching your console to swap media, you need two things: a massive, incredibly expensive memory card and a flawless, constant internet connection. Now, let's look at the zombie apocalypse scenario. Zero internet, zero going outside to your local tech store to pick up and upgrade proprietary storage drive, because the local streets are obviously entirely overrun by the undead. If your console dies, or the authentication servers drop permanently because electricity is a luxury of the past, your $80 digital license vanishes into the ether. Because when the world ends, it's going to be books and my physical media. I can plug a console into a solar generator, snap a cartridge into the slot, and I am playing games until those batteries runs out. No day one patches required, no server pings needed, no corporate terms of service to agree to, while a zombie is actively denting my barricades. Rude. I mean, Sprite Quest doesn't just plan for the weekend. We kind of plan for the collapse of the civilization, okay? Because you know what, guys? Kira gets your back. I know exactly how to roll, and it involves actually owning the things that we pay for. How about that? It's such a revolutionary idea, right? Now, I need to also acknowledge the other part of the process, okay? I understand that there is a lot of... I want to be very clear about this. I am definitely not against digital media. Absolutely not. I understand digital media as a very long-term rental agreement, okay? You are basically... the eShop is basically a long-time blockbuster video, okay? However, I do understand that for some people it's easier. It gets rid of the clutter. I get that. Again, I'm not against digital ownership. I wish that it could be actual ownership, you know. On this day and age, it isn't. That's why I'm against it. I am against just borrowing something that I feel like I had to pay a full price for, when there's gonna be people that have it like physical, and they won't gonna have to like go through the hoops that I'm gonna have to jump through. Okay? So for games that are only digital, I'm more than happy. You guys have seen that we do the eShop videos. We try to help. I love gaming, as I said it, on any shape, way, or form. I don't like to be taken advantage of. So we will see you guys on our next rant. This is Sprite Quest After Dark. I am Kira. Have a great day.